the most important, we're looking for the expertise.
Yeah, sure.
So most times when the recruiting is going on, I believe like there has to be expertise. The same way the person that sells weed cannot look for somebody to teach how to roll weed to do business. He's going to look for somebody that's already been doing it.
So you're telling me the recruitment is there?
The recruitment is there, but then you want expertise.
Yeah.
But then there is also that where you're starting your own gun. You guys are building a gun. So you're getting everybody new. It's orientation. So that's different.
So yeah, okay. Mine is this for someone who's fresh, green.
And then, okay, that's why I'm saying now that's orientation.
Orientation.
Yeah. That's more, I think, you know, like I'm always hanging with you. We're two of us. Maybe let me say I have another friend, maybe called Weatherspoon. He's a friend of mine. Like then now I could tell him like, yo, there's this mission, and you come with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the first time people is going to do a crime. You know, and there's people that it goes haywire.
Sure.
Somebody for his first time and he never comes back and he has never learned anything. So he never has a story to tell.
Sure.
Yeah, the judgment is left for the people that know it. When I say like there's no poverty, like we agreed earlier, it's a miseducation because you have a politician here. None of these guys ever come for campaigns and bring books. None of them have ever supported. There's a library we were told one time they were opening down there, somebody was opening. Not even a politician came. But when there's a barrier, a politician will come.
Why?
Numbers, and then you can speak to people's hearts. And then when there's a wedding, a politician will come. Numbers, and then you can speak to people's hearts. But then the real...
So you're saying in which occasion they won't come?
We're opening a library, you won't see any.
They won't come.
We're doing an orientation for computer. By the way, I was teaching computer free. Yeah. I wasn't asking anybody to pay anything. I was teaching free.
So you say they look in a situation where they'll get the numbers?
And it's easy to convince people because they're emotional. In a barrio, people will be emotional. You can speak to their heart. In a wedding, people will be emotional. They're excited. You can speak to their hearts. But where you have to speak to their minds, you won't see a politician. It's why I tell you the poverty here, it's caused by, I would say, the authorities up there know exactly they can get rid of this thing because we talk about the water cartels. Kibra, they say, has a water problem. But you find someone selling water cannot give somebody that doesn't have 10 bob or 5 bob water, even if that person had an alcoholic in the house that could die because they lack water. So there's those cartels, and then those cartels only have power because corruption is legal. And it's something acceptable. You know, take an example. Like you asked me that the police I'm buying weed from, I don't fear that he might be setting me up.
Yeah, sure.
Now, there's also the ones that's their business, to set up people and they eat with the police. You also have that type of criminal. You know? Yeah. So there's different ways in which people benefit in certain crimes that you can't be arrested because you're committing the crime with the person. The guardian's supposed to be watching over the rest of the people. And the other guardians can't arrest a fellow guardian. Yeah. Because let's I'll give you a very, very good example here. You know, take a day, you have madrasas, a lot of madrasas here. They always have their graduation.
These are Muslim schools, eh?
Exactly. It's very, very hard for you to see a politician come out. But then, on a Friday on Eid, there has to be a politician in the mosque where the prayers is going to take place. So when I say I think politicians contribute almost 80% of the crime that happens here, because they also contribute to hindering the operations or the activities that would, in a way, reduce that harm. Like, they don't contribute to the harm reduction. It's more like a brainwash of the people. Look, let's talk about the things that the politicians will come about when they're voting a member to join the party. Like there was recently, I heard there was a youth leader voting. That you'll see the cars, you start hearing the sirens from the road up there. But down here, you know, you have a lot of women that have circles. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of women that might be dealing with depression, mental issues. There isn't a policy. We don't have no programs like that. You get my point? And nobody ever talks about nothing like that. But when the politicians come, they'll tell you, oh, you know, I want to stand, I want to get for the girls, teach the girls how to braid hair, go to saloon out. The guys will do driving. So there's a basic script that has always been put out there that everybody knows. If I don't fit that script, then I have to look for my way or pay. And that's why I tell you, to me, from experience, like one politician I really loved and respected so much was Wajakoya. Not because I smoke weed. No, I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, sure.
But one thing that I say that is he was the first person that the boys that we went with to him at that time, he was a very different person. His understanding of humanity was authentic. You know, from the way everybody had dressed. And he decided to sit with all of us in the same car. His car. We sat in Wajakoya's car and went to his house, and we were in the backyard.
Yes.
He got chairs. He told his guy to get chairs from the house, brought it down, and we sat. And he had a meeting with us. He did not judge anybody by the looks or popularity, or you get my point. And then when it came to the ghetto, he didn't get popularity because of his authenticity. He didn't have money to water the ground. So there are other people who can have criminals to chase your people away. So it's why I say the politician is the one to broom the criminal first. Because why I say that is the person that is paid for that month to do that stuff, when the politics is over, where do they return for money? Crime.
Sure. So, my last question. I know we can go on and on and on.
I get you.
Yeah, but my last question, because of time,
I'll be brief too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Before I ask you my last question, for someone who is listening to you, when if you try and use a layman language, what do you mean by watering the ground?
Okay, watering the ground.
Yeah, a politician is being asked to water the ground.
So, let's say watering the ground.
Yeah.
Say, Mike, you're a politician.
Yeah.
You're coming to Kibra, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in Kibra, and I'm your representative.
Yeah.
So you're going to give me money for me to pay people that when you already come, they start shouting your name. Nobody's going to cause ruckus because you've watered the ground.
Okay. You've given them something.
You've given them something.
Little.
Exactly.
Okay.
So without that, it's hard for you to cross the gate. So there's I've been around, like seeing all that happen.
Yeah.
And mostly up there, DC.
Yeah.
So they say that's the gate. So people wait for you there. So if your representative didn't get anything, he won't have his people there. So you're going to have a hard time coming through, when it's campaign times. So, most people, so they'll pull something and water the ground. It's why you find there are some other politicians that are loved more.
Okay. Now, my last question is this, on this topic of crime. Here, you find there are gangs, okay?
Gangs.
Gangs.
Yeah.
And gangs are made of, there's no gang that is made of one person. It's made of number of guys. They come up, they made a gang. You can find a gang of 3, 2. Okay. For me, If I'm alone and there's a task I want to do, which is in crime, like a criminal task I want to do, and I cannot achieve this alone, I have to recruit you to come into my gang so that you can help me to accomplish
your mission.
My mission. Like you've told me, someone who goes in jail, comes back, he doesn't want to do the crime himself, you want to recruit. Okay?
I'll correct you, but
okay. Now, here on my point, my question is this: are guys recruited in these criminal activities? And if yes, how are they recruited?
Okay. Always people are recruited, but I'll give you an example. I spent time in Canada too when I was young. I want to first give you an example. They are similar to here.
It's okay.
So like it's different here. Like land has been, they occupy horizontal acres. In the U.S., Canada, most times it's the vertical acres. So you find like you can get 1,000 people living in that vertical acre. Here, it's widespread. So anyway, I was telling you like that side, you find somebody say he was going to maybe rob a gas station and stuff, and he's going to tell his boy like, I remember this one, and it came around like we're sitting at the park, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? Like, I got a job for us. Like if we, ordinary language, like the way we're sitting with you, if somebody came here say, I got a job for us.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't know that person,
yeah,
you will think, all right, he's got something authentic, like they got a job. But then like, this is a stick-up kid. You know what I mean? So it's come like, I got a job for us. Of course, there's people that identify with who he is. So now, who is he also telling? He's also going to tell his close friends, because I will tell you, you might want to tell another person. So depending on the kind of job, there's also specific people that people go to. I can give you an example. There's a time do you see the pole up there?
Yeah.
Can you tell there's nothing in that box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now people steal that stuff. But now, if I was going for that job, there's specific people that
do that job.
They know that job. They know steamer, everything. He knows how to take that stuff in record time before we are noticed. So also when you're recruiting, depending on what kind of job are you going to do, you also need an expertise. You get my point? Because say there's people going for a robbery maybe, and they're not going to go with somebody that is going to let the squad down. You get my point? No matter how good of a friend you are to me, or I was going to climb a pole and take something out, I'm not going to go with somebody that doesn't have expertise. Or let's say I'm even just a con artist, like on the phone and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm not going to recruit somebody that cannot
convince someone.
Cannot convince somebody, but also most important, we're looking for the expertise.
Yeah, sure.
So most times when the recruiting is going on, I believe like there has to be expertise. The same way the person that sells weed cannot look for somebody to teach how to roll weed to do business. He's going to look for somebody that's already been doing it.
So you're telling me the recruitment is there?
The recruitment is there, but then you want expertise.
Yeah.
But then there is also that where you're starting your own gun. You guys are building a gun. So you're getting everybody new. It's orientation. So that's different.
So, yeah. Okay, mine is this for someone who's fresh, green.
And that's why I'm saying now that's orientation.
Orientation.
Yeah. That's more, I think, like I'm always hanging with you. We're two of us. Maybe, let me say, I have another friend, maybe called Weatherspoon. He's a friend of mine. Like, then now I could tell him, like, yo, there's this mission. Can you come with somebody?
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the first time people is going to do a crime, And there's people that it goes haywire.
Sure.
Somebody for his first time and he never comes back and he has never learned anything. So he never has a story to tell.
Sure.
Yeah. The judgment is left for the people that know him.
Yeah. Now, still on that point, I've done so many interviews with guys, and when we come to orientation, there's recruitment and there's orientation. When we come to this orientation part, you hear someone tells you, my first time when I was being oriented or being
Orientated to something.
yeah. I was told to come along, just watch and do nothing. Just watch and see how it goes. And mostly I do with guys, and he tells you this was done 2 to 3 times. Then the third time I was asked to do it myself. And have you come to
that's very familiar.
Yeah, that's familiar.
Yeah. When you actually talked about groups, that's why I was trying to tell you there's different types of groups, also depending on what kind of crime you're doing. Because somebody that is going to be stealing fuses from those high poles, they're not going to recruit everybody. It's not going to be easy to teach somebody how to climb and take it like this. So you find there's different categories, because also depending on categories, there's very dangerous, and then there's somebody that they just feel like, you guys are being a nuisance to society. You don't have to do this. Then there's that one that we need to get rid of these people from society. They have become harmful to us more than they're useful. So that's something I think I've seen where you have somebody here that the ordinary person, not even the cops, the ordinary people, the neighbors, and like the people around already are tired of that person.
Yeah.
There's a time I was somewhere and there was a boy that was in jail and he was supposed to come out. And I heard I think it was like 3 different women at 3 different times.
Yeah.
The first one is like, oh no, why are they letting him out? But that boy, his gang is so excited he's coming. His family is so excited he's coming. But now that lady, that being afraid of somebody, where does it come from? Then there was another one is like, oh, I wish they had locked that one forever. Then there was another one was wishing somebody should just kill that person and we can have peace.
Yeah.
So depending on how you know somebody, because the person that we're talking about, there's people like you sit with them, but then those people also, they know they are people. They also know who to act on, and they also know who not to mess with.
Sure.
Yeah. So, like we were talking about categories, we can't view everybody the same. There's that kid that has entered into crime because his whole gang is in crime.
Uh-huh.
There's that kid that is entered into crime because he tried it a first time and he loved it.
Okay.
And then that one just made a conscious decision. This is what I'm going to be doing. The same way somebody says, I'm going to sell weed, whether the police come and arrest me, it doesn't matter. I'll come out and I will still sell weed. So that's why I was telling you categories really matter, from also experiences and also different environments. Because I could also, at least confirm to you this. In all these places, whoever you might call a criminal or a thief, they're all different in levels and also a community stature, like the way they're perceived. So there are those ones that you will never know, but people know. Like there's people you can see walking on the road, like somebody carrying like sacks, and they'll tell you that person, if you met him 10 years ago, you'd not pass by him. So there's that thing in the society, like the way you say different gangs, they all do different things. So it also becomes very hard because here we cannot wait for you to want to reform, for us to bring a program for you to reform. You know what I mean? And then we also have people that are just looking for a resource center. Then you have somebody sometimes like he left crime, but he's outside, and then everybody else is doing the same thing he's doing. And he had gone in for a petty case. And you find he has tried something, he has gone back, and he has come back. So why still go back to the politician? There's a lot of activities to do here that don't need a lot of money. But the kind of activities that they concentrate on is the one that doesn't build you mentally. It's more about it caters for your physical satisfaction. Because to clean the mutaro, you still have to write a name. They'll have to choose people. And then you'll find all the people that have been past the list and they have left a young boy. It's obvious. That's why I tell you it's the politician. If I can employ somebody 40 years old to do that mutaro and I've left a 15-year-old, won't you blame the politician that you've put that boy at risk? It's like an insurance company.
Sure.
An insurance company for a car, for a young person is going to be high because it's more risky. For all person, the insurance has to be low because it's less risky. And that's the same thing you see here. It's why I always feel like the politician contributes so much to it because they do the opposite to something that could stop that.
And let me ask you this,
Yeah.
I hear some people say, this guy has a criminal blood. Is that true? Does someone
there isn't anything like that. That's the biggest lie.
Yeah.
No, let me just try to equate it with Einstein one time said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it might think it's stupid for the rest of its life. The same way, if you judge a monkey by its ability to swim, it might think it's the dumbest animal that has ever existed. And I think that also happens here. There's nobody with a criminal blood. I've been with most of these guys. And sometimes, like the places that I go by my cannabis, you'll find the criminal that people are scared of the most. And when you're talking to him, he's a very smart and understanding person.
Sure.
Yeah. But then he doesn't find where in community he fits because there is no one that is willing to sacrifice that, which is supposed to be the politician. Is why I tell you there's resource centers that are supposed to be built. There's people that start coaching somebody because he went to jail and his skill was cut short because you can't have a sports career in jail, you know? So you find a very good soccer player. I've been here, like I've done interviews. You know how many gold medals are down here? There are many. You have a champ. There's a boxing champ gold medal.
Football.
Like I've met 3 of them at least with medals. And then you can see that changed their lives because they went somewhere. At least they have a house, so they have improved. Now you imagine their friends that didn't improve. When they start telling you about, oh, I lost this friend or this happened, you know, you can see exactly what's lacking. Because the same way they escaped, that's all their friend needed. So there's no resource spaces and there's no space. Like, even as we're saying, huyo nasema damu yake amezaliwa.
Kuna damu ya ugaidi.
Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Hizo vitu kwanza zinakuja sababu ya misinformation. Ina build anger in somebody. Na hiyo anger inawacha mtu anakuwa aggressive. Na akikuwa aggressive hapa hagopi mtu. Sasa fear yake inakuwa the law. So anakuwa ana run from the law instead of facing the law, and also because there are things that is not being done right. If you remember earlier we were talking, I was telling you something that you have most people here, they are willing to die for their desires, but they can't fight for their right. Because most people don't know their rights. And that's where the politician takes advantage. We don't have programs that do the basic things to wake up people so somebody can make a decision, a critical decision of, I want to change my life. It should not be after the handcuffs have put you in a paddy wagon, the paddy wagon has put you in jail, that you should change. So still, when we talk about crime, I know there's a lot of people that always want the help of the politician, but the politician is taking the advantage of the lack of authentic and accurate information in the ghetto to control. This ghetto is so divided. This area is called Makina. But in this Makina, when there's elections, you have like almost 20 candidates. It already tells you there is no unity. if there are 20 candidates, meaning they all want to break that same big piece of machina. So all those 20 breaking in.
Okay, give us an example where someone knows is right. Sorry, he or she doesn't know is right, but he's fighting for the desire. Like, what kind of a scenario is this where, like, you've seen here in the ghetto, people, they're ready to, you're saying they are ready to fight for their desires, but they don't know they're right.
There's a time, I think it was during Corona. During Corona, I was actually in the ghetto full time because I was at Pamoja FM. No, during Corona, I was in Kitusuru, but I used to come here, get my hub, because I had to get my hub and go back early. So there was times I could come and then I would miss to leave.
Yeah.
So I had to stay here. So now when you want to say an example like that.
Yeah.
So I'll give you just two examples. Number one, during that time, there was a time that they were giving out food.
Yeah.
And there's a pregnant woman that died struggling to get ugali.
Ugali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then people are just coming now. It's numbers. You get my point?
Yeah.
But then, ugali is nobody's right. But welfare should be.
Sorry?
Ugali is nobody's right. But I'm saying welfare should be. Because food should be a basic need. Because if there is money for disaster, here, like, why I say like food should be a basic need, it only counts down to one thing. There was an MP that said he did very well with the schools. But the parents here, they still struggle for the kid to get something to take in the morning so they can go to school. Because most of the kids dropping out of school from here, that is the most important right that they have for them to level up. And that's the one the most neglected. Someone can bring ugali but cannot bring books. There's no politician I've heard that has brought textbooks. Then there's a politician that can come here and tell you like he wants to help the kids that have been sent out because they didn't pay tuition. Isn't that arrogance? Like, I'm just asking you from my perspective. I feel that politician is being provocative because those are the things that they should cater for rather than someone being able to give all these families one packet of ugali each. Build a library. Because the school's already there. But I know one thing for a fact, being in school, and you've been in school too, an hungry stomach cannot learn anything.
Sure.
So that's why I was telling you, there are certain things that people look at the opposite way. Because that is an example where I'm telling you, like, you have kids that are not going to school, but their parents are fighting for ugali.
Yeah.
You get me? Then there's a time for bursaries. It also shows you there's two types of people in the ghetto. Time for bursaries, you have two people on the lines. There's the parent that has gone to work. That parent that went to work, his kid is going to line up. And then there's the parent that doesn't go to work, he's going to line up. So if you can look at those two scenarios, it means there is an imbalance. All those parents that are lining up, how do they support themselves? Because already they are equal to the kid that is also lining up to get the bursary, meaning that kid mentally is going to develop more than that parent's kid, because that parent's kid is already not being given the opportunity to pursue his right.
Yeah.
So I've seen that where kids line up to get bursaries and parents line up to get bursaries. But apart from that, we also have a scenario where, you know, let's talk of sanitation. You know, like if you go in here, you'll find the blue life or whatever. You need to be here when it has rain. And then you see how the sewer can flow in front of people's doors. And then the kids play with it. Not that they go play in the sewer and whatnot. Just yesterday, I wanted to take a picture. This kid's crock, one side of the pail, his crock fell into that dirty water. And it's also the sewer. And he went, picked it, and he's running with it. And that hand is still going to eat with it. You know what I mean? So when I say like the rights, like, you know, healthcare should be everybody's right. But then that's something that is it's really isolating. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to medication, some of the things that get people dead, or the illnesses that become a very big budget here, it's supposed to be something that you should be entitled to.
Yeah.
The same way people should be entitled to school here.
Yeah.
During exams, there were so many kids, and the only question I was asking, so this kid went to school beginning of the term to the end of the term, and you refuse them to do exams. For what? Let them do the exam. Just don't give them the results. That's better.
Yeah.
Because already you kill their motivation, and they'll become cynical in their mind. They believe education maybe is poison. Because then that kid won't see education being his entitlement, his right to be educated.
Sure. So as we wind up,
yeah,
you the way I've heard you and I've gotten your point, it's like you told me, no one is born a crime, but he learns how to be one is born a criminal, but he learns how to be a criminal. So that's the way you
that's how it is. That one, I believe everybody knows about that. Why I say everybody knows about that? Because we're all born, empty-minded. Our environments affect how we behave.
Yeah.
Let's talk about people's Brazil. Brazil produces so many soccer players. Kenya produces so many athletes.
Yeah.
Environment. Isn't that the case? Because that means if you brought the Brazilian that likes athletics down here, it would also show you that you have so many athletes. But why? Soccer brought them out first, like it's more popular. Yeah. So what I was trying to tell you, also in this environment, most times, immediately when you have money, the first thing somebody will think is, what crime did you do?
Okay.
You get my point? Because you wear a chain or whatever, they'll think, okay, what's his hustle? Yeah. Not what job does he? No. Yeah, what is hustle? Already when I say what's your hustle, I'm trying to put it, of course, a friend of mine one time told me there's two types of hustle. There's the HUSTL, and then you have the HUSSL. So there's the hustler, and then there's the one that is doing the legal hustle. Oh. So here everybody is looking at when they say hustle.
So the double S is the illegal one.
No, it's the legal one, the hustle. But here we have the hustler, the HUSTLE.
Oh, that one is the illegal one.
The illegal one. Yeah. So that one always, whenever you see somebody comes looking good, fresh, new shoes, at the back of your mind, you're like, okay, he had a good hustle. You get my point? So the fact that already looking at you doing a criminal activity and celebrating it, it's what will make somebody feel entitled to be a good hustler and to be proud of being a hustler. He doesn't look at it as a crime. You get my point? Yeah. Because like I was telling you, the plug here, it's an honor for him to be a plug. Because then he has a status, he's respected. You get my point? Even the cops respect him to a degree. You get my point? So now he's a role model to those guys that are coming. But those boys, their blood is not with crime, but that is what they are watching growing up.
Yeah. Okay. Now, because of time, what is your parting shot?
Say again?
Nah, your parting shot now. Because of time,
Okay.
But I love the way you're elaborating your points, and I love the way you are taking it. I really love it. And I wish I'll find time. We have a sit down again, and we talk more.
I'll have a lengthier discussion.
Yeah. So as we wind up, what is your parting shot? What would you tell guys outside here?
To be honest with you, the first and foremost thing I want to tell everybody outside there, this is from real experience. I come from Sudan, and I remember something about fish. Whenever my grandmama, I remember she was telling us if you want to get fresh fish, you have to look at the gills. And then there was a saying, a fable that she always had. She said, fish never start to rot from the tail.
Yeah.
It starts from the head.
Yeah.
So to fight crime, we have to look at the top. If there are criminals down here, it means they are very bad criminals up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you tell the person down here, who do they look up to? All these guys have role models. So many of these role models, they support what these guys do. Because a politician, you know, this boy is a going for hire, he's doing wrong things. And then the day you've had your good time, you call him, you guys are partying together, drink together, and give him money. You get my point? So I think we need to clean the head first. The leaders need to clean their shit. They're the ones that are messing up down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't blame anybody down. Those guys are only trying to survive, and then they're copying the ones up there. Because there's nothing you're going to do if it's not done in your environment.
Sure.
People will say you're crazy. You can't start walking naked if people in your environment don't walk naked. Neither can you wear clothes if people in your environment don't wear clothes. So at the end of the day, the upstairs is messed. The crime in the ghetto is because the upstairs don't care. It gives them power for the people to stay ignorant. So until we get rid of the top person dividing people, that I have my people, that person has their people, there will always be crime, and all these things will always happen, because that's what fuels those political seats to be where they are and to be as prominent and dominant as they are.
Sure.
That's all I have to say.
Sure.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for having my time here.
I appreciate it.
And having a sit down with me.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. So for our viewers, guys, that has been, can you remind them your name?
My name is Phil. You can call me the professor, philosopher. My government, Abah Taccari Bol.
Okay.
Bol the Sudanese, not Bol the white man.
Okay. So that has been him. So guys, kindly don't forget to like, comment, and share the story. And if umekuwa interested in hii story yake, kindly comment down there so that we can look for him again and again. Anyway, we will wind it up there. It has been your host Mike Explain, and this is Explain plus 254. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and please subscribe. Up to there, we say bye-bye.